Well, thank you so much for joining us here. My name is Shanka Poncelet. I own a small marketing agency in San Antonio, and behind me here is Edward. Hello. And Edward has graciously decided to let me know about Veronica and James, who basically run a restaurant in Castroville. And we all know during these times right now with the COVID, restaurants have a tough time still remaining in business. And I wanted to give you guys the chance to share with other restaurant owners what you had to do to stay in business and also have sales that are not that bad at all, if I understand correctly.
No, not at all.
Okay, so maybe just briefly introduce who you are and what the roles in your business are.
All right. Well, I'm Chef James Herrera. I'm the executive chef here and the owner of Julianna's.
And I'm his wife, Veronica Herrera. I'm the co-owner, and I'm kind of the, I guess, the managing, what would you say, partner. Mm-hmm. I kind of, I'm the one that puts the thumb down. I'm just kidding.
So when did you start noticing the first impact of COVID-19?
Right away. Once it first came out that there was going to be a change and there was going to be restrictions, right away there was definitely a difference in people's attitude, people's willingness to go out. The effect that scare has on people is a large thing, and it affects everything that we do. So we could tell right off the bat that it was definitely a different situation, and how to proceed was something we had to deal with right away, and making a game plan for what would be successful for us.
Mm-hmm. So what did your business look like prior to COVID? Did you mainly have people that dined in?
I would say 5 to 7%. And the bulk of it was the meals and the alcohol. And I think that was the thing that we were fearful of, like not being able to sell the alcohol. How was that going to really affect us?
Yeah, we've always been one of those restaurants where, I guess, quality of food has always been something that's important to us. And there's always a change in your quality when you get something to go. So whether it's something as far as, hey, if I'm going to do something that's a fried option, well, you put in a to-go box, it takes 15 minutes to get home. It's sat in a window for 10 minutes waiting for you to pick it up. You get there, well, now you have a soggier or just something that's not is what the type of quality you prefer to send out, where it could be put out right on the table right ahead of time. So we know that there's a market for to-go food, but it's not something that we said, hey, this is something we're really seeking. We were always the type of place that, hey, we want to pack our doors and see what we can do to draw business to get people inside. And we never really had to take a step back and say, hey, how do we get people not to come in, but to take food with them? And maybe we were missing the mark on some of that, but
we are realizing we could have been. Yeah. One of the things when we established this business, my husband went to culinary school, and obviously I'm going to brag on him, but he is an incredible chef. And so what he does in the kitchen is an art for him, and it is a passion. And so our catchphrase on our logo is Julianna's a unique dining experience. And so it was a struggle for us to take that dining experience out of the equation and figure out how to still give them the quality and make them want to come back for more.
Once all this hit, we said, okay, so if those are our main concerns, is to pack the house, to build relationships, how do we transfer that to something that really just seemed almost impossible from what you were trying to do?
How has the work in the kitchen changed?
Oh, it's changed completely. The staff has changed. The way you do stuff is completely changed. So staff-wise, I mean, if you're doing to-go, it's totally different to prepare stuff where you have a 15 to 30-minute head start, or we're doing some family meals, and we'll talk to you more about that in a little bit. But the type of food we're doing is geared more towards to-go, where you don't have to have staff there running 7 or 8 different positions like you typically would. So the balance was, how do we maintain our staff, give them hours, and not lose any anybody while all this is going on, because those are important relationships to us, and making our business flow. The type of food we've done, we're creating menus that are good, that hold longer, that doesn't rely on something being completely. I mean, we're a place that serves a lot of steaks, and I'm not pushing steaks right now, because for me, if you order a medium rare steak and you don't get to eat it until 30 minutes later, it's going to be hard for it to be a juicy piece of medium rare meat. I mean, it's going to be something that's transpired into something other than what you normally want. So it's just changing up your menu and allowing yourself to say, hey, what works in this environment?
Veronica, I imagine for you as the manager, that has changed quite a lot too, how you put in your orders and how you organize the back end.
Right. So initially, really the bulk of our business right now is our family meal deals. And it was funny because initially when we started to see states like California on the West Coast, the bigger cities start to do stuff, immediately I was telling my husband, I was like, we have to figure out how to stay relevant in what this market's going to look like now. And immediately my mind went to, we needed to do a family type meal that's easy to be picked up, that feeds a family very, easily in terms of the portioning. But I think the number one thing that we wanted to do was not sacrifice quality. And so a big part of that was telling the girls, okay, look, your service now is taking something out to a car, but they still need to feel as welcome and as wanted for you to be here as you were when they were sitting down and they were dining for $100 or $150 and leaving you a 20% tip. Now they may get $3, $4, $5 when they hand something over to somebody versus the tips of $20 and $25. But the thing that I really, really expressed to my people was the importance of just making people feel like we appreciate their business, and that they're such an integral part of our survival as a business.
So an interesting part that you mentioned is, how did the word get out?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we came up with the family meal deals, and initially it was a shot in the dark. That's just the honest truth. It was, okay, is this going to even work? Because one of the concerns was, what is this going to look like financially for people that aren't working right now? Is this something that's even going to take off? So again, he looked at recipes that were going to keep well, that were going to be fairly inexpensive to create, but maintain our quality, because that's the number one thing I think that sets us apart. Our stuff went out, and within 8 to 10 days, businesses all over were copying what we were doing, picking up what we were doing. But we are doing better leaps and bounds because our quality has not changed.
So, website's important. Having something that's clear and visible, so people know what your goal is, what your plan is. Then social media is such a big push for anybody. Social media it will either make you or break you. In the industry that we live in now. So I always laugh. I say I can't stand social media, but I need social media. So it's one of those things where you got to have it. Everybody uses it, whether it's some different sorts that are out there now. But you have to be active in it. You have to respond to what people are saying, and give feedback, whether it's good feedback, bad feedback that's given to you. You got to respond to it and let them know that it's valuable information. So when going out and looking at what worked for us, it's making posts that are catchy, that you just don't want to scroll past something and just be a couple of words on a white background. It has to be something that's going to say, hey, what's going to make you stop and look at what we have to offer? And then you have to get out and you have to figure out ways to get people to want to share it with each other, and being catchy and saying, hey, this is what's going on here, so that they'll want to share it with other people. Our next step that we're going to implement starting next week is we're going to start sharing a bunch of our photos where people have tagged us while they're opening up our meal deals, while they're going through and sharing that and what their plates have been created like. So we have people that are sending pictures to us all the time saying, hey, look at our plates.
Like happy kids with the food, and it's been wonderful. We just feel so lucky.
So it's including your guest in that part of it, letting them know that they're appreciated. And that's going to make them want to spread the word about what you a little bit more, I believe.
We have the Castroville, Medina County community. We have people from Bexar County coming in to get our meals.
Wow.
And eat our food. And Saturday night, we sold out of our family special. We had to modify it. We had a line of cars to be picked up their food.
I'm going to ask that again because it's really what a lot of restaurant owners out there are wondering. How do I get the word out? And what I understood from you guys is a combination, obviously, of word of mouth with a happy existing customer base. And then you heavily rely on social media where you post appealing pictures of your food, right?
Yes.
And announce the deals, and then also have a overview page on your website where people learn about it.
Sure.
Right, correct?
And we engage our customers online when they ask. We do our best to like respond quickly. When they post, you know, love this special, we try really, really hard to make sure somebody responds, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. And so a lot of it is that engaging the customers as well.
What does the order management look like? How much in advance do you need an order? How have you solved that?
And what happens is you go through and you say, hey, what do you have? What works? What do you know I'm not going to be out of? Because for a lot of restaurants, I mean, we have storage here, but I don't have storage to store 40 boxes of chicken and not have everything else stored up. So I can only order so much of what I need. So I was relying on my specials being, what do you have that you know I can get in the next couple of days? And they can tell you, they know what they're going to have, what they're not going to have. And if your salesperson's honest with you, they'll tell you, hey, you need to get this now, or hey, hey, don't worry about it, that it's still going to be there. And it's just about building a good reputation with your sales rep.
But I think the other part of it is when you're asking about the logistics of the meals, we offer a time for pickup. So our customers can pick up their meal between 4 and 7 p.m. Because it's a family dinner deal. Okay. We offer from 10 to 9 to be available for to-go off of our regular menu. But now what we've started, and this was a learning process for us, was allowing people to call at 10 or 11 and go ahead and say, I'd like to pick up at 5:30. Because, you know, we're not used to running to go that way. Usually it's call, be here in 20 minutes. Well, it doesn't work that way when you're doing bulk family meals. So it has worked out better for us to be able to have them call and say, can I come in at 2:30, have it ready? Really a big part of the success has been staying open. You know, we've already seen several of the restaurants around here, and restaurants even in San Antonio that we enjoy just shut the doors or they close at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. We're only open to 3. We're open every night until 9 o'clock, and we will take your to-go order until 8:55. You know, we are here to serve a customer base, and the minute we shut our doors, they feel like they're not being taken care of, and they're going to go somewhere else.
That's a good point. Yeah. So most of your orders come in via telephone?
Yes, and we'll have some private messages on our Facebook page. But yes, predominantly it's phone calls. We make sure that every single post goes out, and it's got we decided on family meal deal. It says family meal deal. It has Julianna and the phone number. Always, nothing goes out without any of that on there. And we have families that we've only been doing this for 10 days, and we have families that have already dined 3 and 4 times. We get messages first thing in the morning, what's on the family meal deal, you know, and they're ready to go.
Yeah. Well, you know, you have a message of hope, I think, for a lot of people out there. And I've been saying the same thing. Right now, stopping your activities is the worst thing you can do. Of course, not everybody has the luxury to be able to do that. But if at all costs you can stay open and you can show the community that you are there to serve, that is really vital.
Sure.
Now, if people get curious now and want to try your amazing dinner specials, tell us how they can find you and how they can order food from you.
We are at juliannasuniquedining.com. Or you can just find us online, Julianna's Restaurant, Castroville, Texas, and we post a special every day. we still have, like, one of our biggest things is chicken fried steak. I mean, it's the South. People love a good chicken fried steak. So Thursday, that's our special. We still have that going. We still have plenty of orders for that as well. Our phone number is 830-538-6302. And we can answer any questions people have about the family meal deal, portioning. It feeds a family of really almost 5. That's always been a chef thing. He doesn't want anybody to ever be hungry, so he always puts probably a little more than what would be, for a family of 4. So
Yeah, we're Texans, so we do everything a little bit bigger and better.
Awesome. Well, if someone is still hopeful and owns a restaurant, and let's say the top 3 pieces of advice you would give them to what they can start doing today to be in better shape on Monday.
Step 1, nobody in your restaurant works harder than you do. If somebody's working harder than you do on your staff, probably need to let go of your restaurant. You need to be in there. And that's the pivotal part. If you want to keep your employees happy, they need to know that you're there with them. You're the one who has the ideas. You're the one who has the keys to success, so you got to be there and make sure that that's happening. Step 2, find out what the public wants. I mean, that's, food is such an important thing, and people love it. It's a way that we connect. It brings up old memories. It brings up feelings. It brings up emotional. That's what we gain. That's what we aim for. So seek out what you can do to make people have those memories. Some of our specials have been things that we don't normally do on our menu, but it's not about the normal, because we're not in the normal life anymore. We're a changed society right now. We did meatloaf. Well, people remember Mom's meatloaf, and people had, and they say, "Oh my goodness, it made me think so much of my mom's meatloaf." And
Edward drove all the way to Castroville to get the Mom's Meatloaf special.
The meatloaf was delicious. The portions were huge. Yeah.
And I think that third key, the big key, is making your staff feel valued so that they can make your customers feel valued. It's reciprocal. So I think that as long as your customers know that you are so gracious and thankful for them, they're going to keep coming back. I know you didn't want 4, but the other thing I think that's helped us has been we haven't let quality be an issue, and we have not cut corners. So,
and the biggest thing is when you go out and you're making your plans and you're saying, "Hey, what am I going to do to sell?" When you got to price point everything. Mm-hmm. So people right now have a tendency to say, "Hey, I'm going to charge this large number because I got to make up everything in one fell swoop." That's the wrong mentality. And then you have people that say, "Oh, I'm going to charge a lot lower because I just got to get people to the doors." That's not the.
And then they buy cheap products. And
you got to figure out what's the right price so that you're successful, but you can draw people in through the door still. Because we're looking at extra costs that we've never had before. I mean, if we do a family meal deal, we're looking at 7 to 8 different containers that we're having to purchase. We're doing a couple of different bags. People are coming in asking us for drinks. I mean, we just have so many things that add up in cost that you normally just don't tack into what you're doing for your pricing where it is you should. I guess a lot of places they did it where if you order to go, it's this much more for a to-go box or for that. And that's not really what you want to do. You don't want to say, "Hey, we're going to do that." Just throw it all into your price to begin with. Mm-hmm. Everything needs to be covered now. And I think you'll find yourself where it's very successful.
Well, with that, I think on behalf of the many restaurant owners whom you will give hope and who will probably find a way to stay in business, thank you so much. Veronica and James from Castroville with Julianna's.